We live in a world where we freak out about everything. Why? Well, I believe it's because we have access to way too much information. We believe there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. And because there's so much information out there, we'll spend days, weeks, months obsessing over figuring out what the right way to do something is. I get so many emails on a regular basis from people that say, John, I'm doing this thing and I'm researching how to do that thing, and I'm completely overwhelmed with all the information that's out there. I just want to do this right. Can you please guide me on the simplest way to do this? And I read that and I see what they're trying to do, and I'm like, wait a minute, you've taken this very simple thing. There's really nothing to it, and you've turned it into this massive thing that's totally complicated, and the world's going to end if you don't do it right. The first thing we need to do is we need to calm down a little bit, and then I get into what it is that they need to do. But I guess I should first explain why I get these emails, because you might not know me. This might be the first time that you've watched one of my videos. If that's the case, thank you. Hi, my name's John, and I own a website with my beautiful wife called keepfishkeeping.com. And on that website, we sell everything that you could ever need for your aquarium. I'm not doing an advertisement for my website. I'm just telling you I have that. One of the things that we sell a lot of is aquarium filters. We sell sponge filters, internal canister filters, Shark Pros, Shark Pro Nanos. We sell the hang-on back filters, the Tidal from Seachem and the AquaClear from Fluval. Because we sell so many different types of filters, because we promote those filters, and because we sell so many of them, we get a lot of questions about those filters. So this is why I'm getting all of these emails. But there's one that stands out. There's one that stands out over all of them. That question is, how do I swap out my old filter and put on the new one? How do I do that? I don't want to screw anything up. How do I do it? And I can understand being intimidated by this, but it's really something that's very, very simple. But first, let's talk about why you would want to replace your filter, or why you need to swap it out. Really, there's only two reasons. One would be the filter that you have right now is just not keeping up, or maybe it's 5-6 years old and it came with the kit that you bought and it's just not doing it anymore. The water's barely trickling out. I just want to be done with this thing and replace it. The way that you're going to do that, if the filter is faulty, if you just don't like it anymore, then you can go to the second strategy. But if it's broken and it's actually a detriment to your aquarium, the strategy is going to be different than the next way that we're going to talk about, which is you just want to upgrade. You watched my video on the new AquaClear and you're like, you know what? That looks like what I've been missing in my life. I want to order one of those and I want to get it in here, but I'm freaking out over how to swap out my old one for this new one. The old one's fine. It works. It came with my beginner kit that I bought and it's fine, but I really like the look of that AquaClear. So I want to upgrade to that, but I don't want to do it wrong. And I can understand that, because there is one big thing about aquarium filters that we don't want to screw with. If you're new to this, you may not have thought about this, but your aquarium filter, doesn't matter if it's a sponge filter, a canister, it doesn't matter what it is or how good it is. Your filter is one of the primary areas where beneficial bacteria grows, which is what keeps your whole aquarium thriving and alive. And basically, it is the life support system of your aquarium. And the fact that all of that bacteria is in there is one of those reasons why it's the support system. And so by switching it out and putting in a new one, you're sacrificing all of that bacteria. Oh no, the whole tank is going to crash. I don't want that. So I'm very nervous about pulling this old one off and putting the new one in. I don't know what to do, because my tank is great. And John, I know you say all the time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I have to have that new AquaClear. I need this filter, but I don't want to screw it up. How do I do this? Okay, calm down. Let's talk about the first scenario first. This is where you have a filter that it's broken. It's not working well. It's not filtering as good as it used to. It must be that the pump is clogged up or something. The water's barely trickling out. Well, you need to do it differently than the next scenario, because your scenario is a little bit more of an emergency situation. You got to get that thing replaced, because if you don't, your tank is going to crash. But you're worried, like, I got to fix this problem, but I don't want to cause another problem by fixing that. What do I do? This is very simple. Okay. First of all, again, calm down. Let's not overcomplicate things. One of the big reasons why we sell both the Tidal filter and the AquaClear is because those filters have so much room in them to expand and to do things, to put additional media in and fancy things in, and biomedia and all of that. They both come with biomedia. That's one of the things that we absolutely love about those. And we love it for this reason. With that extra space in the filter, you can take your old media, the sponge, the biomedia, the carbon, whatever it is that you have in there, whatever is inside your filter currently, you can take that and put it into the new filter. And you can do that because it has the space to do that. And so in that situation where the tank is going to crash, my fish are gasping for air, I'm desperate, I need to get this filter off and the new one on, but I'm worried about crashing my system, that's what you're going to do, because the sponge and the biomedia and all the things that you have in there, the whole purpose of biomedia is providing a place for the growth of beneficial bacteria. So you've got all that bacteria in there that you can take out of that filter and put into the new one, start the new one up. And yeah, the load might still take a little bit of a hit. The bacteria, you're not going to get it all over, but you're going to get the primary places where that bacteria is growing. You're going to get that into this new filter, and you should be good to go. You are going to have to monitor things, maybe add some live bacteria to the tank to replenish that you lost, but this is really, you have to do it. You have no other way. You got to get that old one off that's just causing problems. This is how you're going to do it. And what I would say is, yes, you're asking the question now. Well, does that mean I take out, the AquaClear, if that's the one that you're buying, comes with that biomedia? Do I just not put that in and instead put the biomedia from my old filter? Yes, that's exactly what you would do. Or if maybe your filter uses cartridges, you put that in there. I don't know if that would fit. I don't know what kind of filter you have, but maybe you can fit it in there. If not, if it won't fit in there, you can put it in the current of your old or of your new filter. So the water is flowing through it. Whatever it is that you have to do, incorporate that old media into your new filter, and that's going to help out dramatically. It might be a little easier on the Tidal. I think the cartridges might be able to fit in there like sideways in the back a little easier than they would in the AquaClear, but the AquaClear has plenty of room in there too. I mean, that's what it's known for. Get that media out, put it into the new one, and then start it up, add some live bacteria. You should be good. Every single time we do any changes to our aquariums, we're taking a risk. We know that. This is going to keep those risks to a minimum. But there's another way. There is another way, and this other way will apply to the scenario where the filter you currently have is working great, but you just want to replace it because you just really like the look of that Seachem Tidal or that AquaClear or whatever filter it is that you're buying. You just really like it and you want to upgrade. I don't need a new phone every 2 years, but I get one because Apples are awesome. We don't need it, but we want it. In that case, there's a very specific way I would do it. And if you've never thought about doing this, you're going to hear this and be like, oh my God, that was so simple. Why didn't I think of that? And exactly. That's the whole point, that you freaked out about something that's really super simple and should take no thought whatsoever. And here's the good thing. I don't know of a scenario where a filter is actually causing a problem. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your filter just isn't working as well as it was. So this is going back to that scenario A, where your filter is not running properly. It's not keeping up. I just want to get it out of there and I want to put a new one on. How do I do that? When you transfer the media, that's a way to do it. Or this way that I'm going to tell you will actually work perfectly in that scenario. And so this strategy is ultimately what I would tell you to do in any scenario. Even if it's a sponge filter that you're replacing, it doesn't matter. If you have a filter on your aquarium and you want to replace it with another one, here's how you do it. You don't change a thing. You add the new filter to what's already there. If that doesn't make sense, I would understand, because I probably didn't say it in a way that makes sense. You've got your Aqueon Quiet Flow that came with your starter kit. I'm not picking on the Aqueon Quiet Flow. I happen to like that filter a lot, but it's very common that comes with kits. So you've got that filter on the right side of your 55-gallon tank. You take your new Tidal filter, you put it on the right side, right next to each other, and you run them both at the exact same time. Don't complain to me, John, that uses too much power. Come on, it doesn't use too much power. Put them both on there, run them both next to each other for a long time. How long? I mean, listen, why are you in a hurry? You want to take care of your fish good, right? I mean, you want to do the best you can for them. Why are you in a hurry? Why does that one have to come off? It's not hurting anything. It's just not keeping up the way you'd like it to. So put that new one on, run them both. You got double the filtration now. Everybody's happy, right? Too much filtration is a problem for no fish. It's great. Run them both. Run them both for 3 or 4 months. Let that new filter get nice and scummy and dirty and poopy and gross and brown. Let stuff start falling out of it. Let that new filter really come to life. Then you can remove the old one. This is a strategy that works really well, whether the one you have now is just a piece of crap, not the Aqueon Quiet Flow, because that happens to be a good one, but it's just junk and you want to get rid of it. Okay, I understand you want to get rid of it. Just don't get rid of it today. Leave it running. Don't move it. Keep it there. Put the new filter on. Run them side by side for several months until your new filter is nice and dirty, and then you can remove the old one. But John, hold on. Remember when I said overcomplicating things? Hold on, John. Let's say I take your advice and I run the two filters next to each other for 6 months. The new one ought to be real seeded by then, right? All that bacteria is all in there and it's all so glorious, right? But then when I pull the old one off, I'm still removing all of that bacteria. Isn't that going to be a problem? No, it's really not. I mean, is your aquarium going to take a little bit of a hit from a bio standpoint? Maybe a little bit, but a good healthy aquarium has an abundance of bacteria in it and it should be completely fine. If the filters that you're putting on there are appropriately sized, it should be completely fine. You should be totally safe removing that and not even doing anything else. Just remove that filter out of there and you're good to go. If you are overly concerned and you want to replenish more live bacteria or more bacteria, like I said, use a live bacteria product. My personal favorite is the Fritzzyme 7. I think it's one of the best products on the market for replenishing that bacteria. Whenever you do anything to an aquarium that your bacteria could take a hit, it's a really good idea to add that product into your tank to replenish that live bacteria. No company on planet Earth is doing live bacteria better than Fritz. So yeah, that is a direct advertisement for Fritz on my channel because that is a great product. It's one of the best products out there. That's a good way to just kind of give yourself that peace of mind in case you're wondering if the bacteria is going to take too much of a hit. But I got to tell you, I've done exactly what I'm talking about here. So many times I've lost count and I've never had any problems. I'll tell you what when I have had problems is when you just take that filter off and you put the new one on and you just say, well, see what happens. That could be a problem. You can crash an aquarium. However, if your tank is perfectly healthy, I've seen many occasions where people have done exactly that and they've still been fine. But we want to take the least amount of risk possible, right? So to do that, run your filters side by side. Maybe it's not a hang on the back filter. Maybe it's a sponge filter. You got an old, ugly, nasty sponge filter in there. You want to replace it with a new one. I get it. Do that. Just put 2 sponge filters in there. Put the new one in right next to the old one. Let it get all nasty and all beautiful. I consider grime and brown and stuff on aquarium stuff, I consider that natural. I like it that way. It's a sign of a healthy aquarium. Let it get that way. Then pull the old one out. Anytime you're replacing a filter for any reason, the best strategy, the most foolproof strategy, is to add the second filter, wait as much time as you can. I mean, we all want to do things in a hurry, right? But we're talking about nature here. You can't rush this. Put them on there, run them side by side as long as you possibly can, and then remove the old one. Nothing in this hobby is guaranteed, but I can guarantee you that is the simplest and most foolproof way to solve a problem that really isn't complicated to begin with, but it'll take all of the worry out. You won't lose any sleep, and in the majority of cases, you won't lose any fish either. And that's what it's all about. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Keep things simple and enjoy this hobby. That's what it's all about. I hope that helps. Bye.